Hey folks, David Stewart here. I'm going to keep this one rather brief today. Kentaro Miura, the creator of Berserk, has died at the age of 54. My understanding is that he died of acute aortic dissection, which is a heart condition where the layers of your aorta basically get ripped apart. If it ruptures, it's usually fatal. And my understanding of this also is that it's not something that is very predictable. You get very unlucky if you end up suffering from this. So I'm going to go ahead and read an official statement from Young Animal. Report of the death of Professor Kentaro Miura. Dr. Kentaro Miura, the author of Berserk, passed away on May 6th, 2021 due to acute aortic dissection. We would like to express our utmost respect and gratitude to Dr. Miura's painting work, his artwork, and pray for his soul. May 20th, 2021. This was confirmed by Dark Horse, the publisher of most of the manga here in the West. Kentaro Miura passed away on May 6th, 2021 from acute aortic dissection. He was 54. Miura Sensei was a master artist and storyteller, and we had the great privilege of publishing several of his finest works, including his masterpiece, Berserk. He will be greatly missed. Our condolences go out to his family and loved ones. So I'm going to take this opportunity. If you've never read Berserk, now's a really good time to get into it. There's numerous animes. I think the first one, which is a TV anime made in the late 90s, is probably my favorite. There was a couple of movies that were made of the Golden Age arc, which is the first, 12 or so volumes of the tankobon manga assembled, and it's a pretty good series. So if you like anime, that first anime series and then the Golden Arc movies are both pretty good ways to access this, but I think the best way really is in the original art format, and there's a bunch of reasons for this. To say that Kentaro Miura is highly influential is an understatement. Berserk on its own is a fabulous horror fantasy, dark fantasy manga, and I would recommend it to anyone that is interested in fantasy. And I think the world that he constructs and the tale that he tells, and most importantly, the characters and their philosophies are really something that are worth experiencing for any fan of fantasy. In fact, one of the most characteristic things of the prime character here, Guts, is giant swords. So if you see characters with giant swords, I think one of the reasons that giant swords are in so many different things is because of this character in this manga kind of as a style suffusing it, even though there's reasons for him to have such a large sword, and it's all explained in the story. It's very good. I've reviewed the deluxe editions. I just got number 7 here. It's still in the shrink wrap. So these are also really good to pick up, and you usually will save money over buying tankobons if you want to get these. And these have the huge original artwork. As an artist, he's very influential. Full of, the manga is really, really full of highly detailed, very extreme kinds of violence that happen, and really, really excellent style, especially as the series goes on. Once you get past about volume 3 or 4, he really settles into doing the artwork at very peak quality, and it remains that way for a very, very long time. Unfortunately, Berserk has not been finished, so I don't know of the status of the story or if there's some way that someone else is going to finish the story, but it is one of those things that this is an event that you probably can't predict, and therefore things remain unfinished. That's the reality of the world we live in, is we don't know if we're going to walk out the door tomorrow, if we're going to make it home. And so a couple of events this year have definitely impressed upon me as an artist that it's important to finish what you start. It's important to get the work done that you think really is important for you to do, for your soul to do, and for your own sensibilities to be able to complete. And I think that he made his best effort to get as much of it done as he could, but you can only do so much at a time because that's the nature of the limitations of our bodies and our physical senses. And in fact, more so than the art, more so than the style of the giant swords, is really the characters and their philosophy. And I've written about this and talked about this on several occasions. What Berserk is really about is not just fantasy, it's not just violence, it's not just horror, though those are vehicles through which Kentaro Miura tells you the story and expresses the philosophical questions that he wants to. But it's really about the question of willpower, struggle, and destiny. So you have two main characters. You have Guts, and then you have really Guts's main nemesis eventually, but his friend in the first arc of the manga, which is Griffith. Griffith is really blessed by destiny. Guts is outside of destiny. He's born from a corpse, and so there's no control over him. He is, in essence, his own will. And even if the destiny of the God Hand, the evil demonic forces that are trying to influence the world, are completely set against him, he has the capacity to resist them. He has the ability to forge his own life and forge his own destiny. And that's what his quest is. He's constantly trying to discover the meaning of his life before he realizes that his life has his own meaning. And it's a very symbolic thing. He's literally born from a corpse. His mother at the end of, I'm not going to show you that panel because it might get the, it might trigger something on YouTube. But his mother is hanging as a dead person, and he, as a baby, falls out of her and is saved. And so that's very symbolic, is that he's already dead, and therefore is not really subject to the laws of destiny that everyone else is. Griffith, meanwhile, appears blessed by destiny, but through that he is inflicted with great and terrible suffering as the price of the glory that he wants to receive, and that he believes is his right, is his destiny, if you will. So those are the two big themes that are in conflict there, is this destiny and this anti-destiny, as well as just this idea of struggling, that you struggle against it, that's the nature of human existence, is to struggle against our limitations, to struggle against the forces that are arrayed against us, and to not give up, not to fall into despair, to not believe that what we're doing is useless and worthless, but that no matter how much it hurts, that you're going to continue on, and then you're going to try to reach the next step. That's some of the bigger messages that are in there. And as the series goes on, Guts in particular has to stop and reevaluate things that he does, because he lives his life really carelessly for his own life, and then as other people become dependent on him, he has to rethink about what that means, about what his own life means for others, not just himself. And so all of those are really great themes, and that's the big impact of Berserk, more than the obvious stuff which ends up influencing culture, like the artwork, the storytelling style, the characters, giant swords, all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't read Berserk, now's a great time to jump in and read it and really see what it's about. And I do recommend it in the manga form. You can read it digitally. It's looks good on most displays, or in one of the deluxe editions, which I've collected here as well. So thanks so much, guys, and I will see you all next time.